Hey, how's it going? It's September 26th, 2022. This is your Daily Sweet Talk show hosts. Can't live with them, can't live without them. Some are good, some are bad. I'm going to talk about the ones I don't like today. Jimmy Fallon. I think he's fine. I really liked Late Night with Jimmy Fallon when it first premiered. I thought it was fresh, I thought it was fun, I thought Jimmy had a lot of charisma, and I thought his chemistry with his sidekick Higgins and with the Roots was very good. I think Higgins, in my opinion, hot take, one of the best late night sidekicks. Maybe that's going a bit far, but I do think even to this day, he Jimmy and his back and forth um, is one of the remaining good aspects of Jimmy Fallon's show, which is now the Tonight Show. And I think most of the time late night. I think for the most part was good. Late night with Jimmy Fallon was good, but most of his run of the Tonight Show has been pretty stale. All his game show, you know, whatever bits have gotten old because he's very competitive. So it gets to be not very fun to watch sometimes. Um, uh, because it almost kind of feels like he's a sore loser sometimes. And that I feel like the games are not always very well thought out. I saw a bit he did with Rhett and Link recently where they were doing like a classic Rhett and Link sort of like will it bit. And he was so picky, he didn't even want to try most of the food. And it's like, why did you think this was a good idea to do? He's also not a very good interviewer. Um, Compared to a lot of his contemporaries. Uh, People think he's insincere, that he's just force laughing at a lot of people, but I think he's just kind of that's just kind of how he is. I don't think he's insincere. I think he's just kind of like um he just not that he thinks everything's funny, but it's just like that's just his response to things. I don't know. That's just his way of being friendly. I don't know. I don't think he's being insincere. I don't um I don't think he's just doing it for the camera. I think that's how he is with people. I don't know. I don't know him, but that's the impression I get. I don't. I People really seem to hate him nowadays and think he's like a corporate puppet. I don't think that badly of him at all. I did a video talking about him a while back, but um, right now his show is very stale though, and I don't think his interviews are very good. I don't think his bits are very good. So he's one of the lesser ones. John Oliver, another one. Not really a talk show host, but his whole thing I think got very old very quickly. It's just he delivers the things the same way every time. I don't disagree with what he has to say, and it's sometimes funny, but a lot of like the jokes are really forced sometimes. That's about as much as I'll say about him. I'm running out of time. Stephen Colbert. Um, the I again I don't disagree with what he has to say politically necessarily, but it's just so much, and he like because he was so successful with it, it kind of changed the talk show landscape as a whole in a kind of a pretty annoying way with all the Trump jokes and everything. And he's not a very good interviewer. He's kind of belittling to some of the guests in a way. It feels sometimes. His interview with Conan particularly was difficult to watch. But the worst one I think is Jimmy Kimmel. Uh, I've never liked Jimmy Kimmel. I I at first I thought he was fine. I think a lot of the bits on his show are funny. I think Mean Tweets is funny, whatever. Some of them are not very well thought out and kind of mean spirited, like the hiding the kids' Halloween candy thing. But all of his bits like are completely independent of him as a talk show host. He does not need to exist for any of the bits on his show to exist. It's like all the writers come up with these things, and he's just like here to be like, "Hey, look at this. This is a thing." He adds nothing to his show, and he's not a good interviewer either. I think he's maybe the worst interviewer there is. He feels like an annoying guy to have to talk to. I really do not like Jimmy Kimmel. Amp Lemon did a video on him a while back about that. I agree with a lot of the points there. Maybe not the whole thing, but I think we kind of have the same sort of impression of Jimmy Kimmel.